All right, here's a setup that happened this morning, which is we're doing replay right now. It's April 14th on Tuesday. So this is the market open. NASDAQ, market open, and the 15-minute is starting to look like a chat candle if it continues to develop. And we do see that the 1 minute is developing like this at the market open. The 15-second chart is developing like this, and we'll continue scrolling forward. And the 15-minute candle will close once we get to here. That will be the 9:45. That's the, right now we're looking at the 15-minute chart. We get a dip, and at this point, the 15-minute candle would have looked like this with a wick. And the thing is, eventually it does recover. It does go higher. It does close pretty strongly. And okay, now we closed, and that's definitely a chat candle. So we meet our first component of our requirement to have a chat candle. This is on the 15-minute, and the 15-second chart does look like this. We continue to push higher, and now it looks like that's the high of the swing. So at this point, we can put on, if this is the high, then we can put on the 50% retracement and see what we have. At the same time, we want to keep an eye on what the 15-minute looks like, just so that we get a visual memory of how these things look in real time, or would have looked in real time. Okay, we need a pullback. We need in terms of indication and correction and continuation, we have the virgin wick. This will be the virgin wick of this swing point here, off this 15-minute candle right here, this red one right there. So the tip of that is our virgin wick, and we will see if we engage. So we continue scrolling on the 15-second chart. It's coming down, it's going up, but it's making good internal liquidity. Okay, we now engage the point of interest. All right. Okay. So, in terms of how the 15-minute would have looked like in real time, it is as such. This swing low, this chat candle continues to make a high, and then the rest of this becomes the pullback. And this is the point of interest. Okay, so now to clean up the chart, I will take away the point of interest because we've engaged it. And now we need to see what we're sweeping and what kind of CISD we're working with and what kind of pullback we actually have. We made the high up here, and we have a 50% retracement here. And so in actuality, we actually don't make it to the 50% retracement. Instead, what we have is a pullback to the New York anchored VWAP, and we do sweep this low. setting up for a CISD. So here we come down here to sweep this low and go back up, and these series of downgoing candles has an opening right here, and that would be the CISD level. And so when this green candle closed right here fairly confidently, if we're comfortable not having the 50% lined here, if we're comfortable. So this may not necessarily be an A+ setup now that we recheck the 50%, but we do have a downswing and a CISD that pushes into a clean area for that CISD to play out, to be obvious and clear. We just don't have the 50%. So when this green candle closed, we put our green and pink box here, and the 15-minute chart would have looked like this, with the chat candle and the pullback and the CISD starting to get going. So really it's a judgment call at this point whether we believe that this is an A+. It by definition probably would not be by our current criteria, but we have this CISD that pushes clean into the staging area, and we do close, and let's just see how it plays out. Okay, goes to target. And actually goes to draw on liquidity even. So that's the New York Open. We have the chat candle. We have the point of interest right there. We engage it. We make a peak with this red candle. We retrace to engage. And we make this CISD. I think the main thing I want to look at is just memorize how this CISD looks when we say we want a good movement during the pullback. And so these movements create internal liquidity, and then we push down into here, into a clear area for a good reversal. And so what I mean by a staging area push is it pushes into this open area. It would have been more ideal if it had somehow come down to here to engage the 50% and then pushes down and then make the CISD. Then that would have been the A+ setup. But as is, we do push into this clear area and we sweep it, allowing us to draw a good CISD, because this is what theoretically a good CISD looks like, with a sweep, a push down, and then a rejection, and then we close above with this nice candle with some volume here, and then we go to target. We even go to draw on liquidity. All right, so like a A- setup if we consider that we did not have the 50%. But I think the take-home point I want to make is just this type of CISD, to get familiar with the way the CISD looks when it's a good CISD. And a good CISD pushes down, sweeps, pushes down into a clear staging area for the reversal to come in. It has to push, and then the reversion to the mean energy and the break above this opening of these down series of candles and this very nice looking closing candle. Oh, and the other thing I want to say is that they're all fractal, right? So this is 15 second because we have a 15-minute chat candle here. And so they all proportion out. And this was a 17-point move on the NASDAQ.